Hey guys, today I want to talk about the 2023 M2 MacBook Pro, and I have 5 reasons why I think it's the perfect laptop for any creative. So I think I'm probably like a lot of you guys where every computer I've always had has had some problem, whether it's the speakers don't sound good, or the webcam doesn't work, or the SD card port will break after some time, or the operating system just doesn't integrate well with the computer's hardware. There's always some problem on every computer I've ever had. And after a month of owning this MacBook Pro, I can officially say it's the only laptop I've ever had where everything is perfect. Apple nailed basically everything. And so today I have 5 reasons why I think the M2 MacBook Pro is the computer that you should switch to if you are still using Windows. If you already have an M1 MacBook Pro, this video is probably not for you. So the first reason why I think this is the perfect computer for creatives is it's perfectly quiet and the fan never comes on, which means that it's not using hardly any battery power. In fact, I've gotten about 20 hours of use when using Chrome or when using Notes or some other, kind of low intensity apps. And I've gotten about 10 hours of battery life on 4K editing or any other CPU, GPU intensive tasks like 3D modeling or anything like that. I've been trying 3D modeling a bit in FreeCAD lately and it blazes through it. Still, the battery life is about 10 hours for any of those types of 3D modeling type work. This is opposed to, say, my Acer laptop. Where did it go? My Acer laptop that will last about 45 minutes doing 4K editing or 3D modeling, rendering, or anything like that, and maybe about 3 hours while using Chrome or Firefox or anything that's kind of low intensity. The second reason why I think this is the perfect laptop for creatives is because it never lags on 4K footage. I've used several computers on 4K footage and they always have lagged, always have had some issue with performance. This you can scrub to the timeline, you can do anything, you can apply effects. The only time it would ever lag is with complex animations in DaVinci Fusion or anything like that. It blazes through calculations in 3D modeling softwares like FreeCAD. It will move through the timeline, scrub through the timeline with no problem at all. And compared to any Windows computer I've used in the past, it does the same thing with so much less power consumption and zero heat. The fans never spool up when you're doing 4K editing. Okay, so number 3, the third reason why I think you should buy this computer if you're a creative is you can use it on the go because of the trackpad. The trackpad on this Mac is the best I've seen on any computer ever. I mean, it is such a good trackpad. They nailed the haptic engine. It's so smooth, so easy to use that I don't even use a mouse anymore. I've completely abandoned the mouse. I had a Logitech MX2, or I think that's what it's called. And I love that mouse, but I never use it anymore on editing the videos or doing anything. I've never experienced that on any Windows computer where basically you use the trackpad and you want to give up the mouse. The trackpad is just phenomenal. And that leads me into my 4th point, the chassis. The chassis on this Mac is one of the best I've ever seen on any laptop. It's a single piece, the speakers are upward firing, they're very nicely finished into the top of the laptop, and the whole thing is just so smooth and well put together. You feel like it fits in your hand like a glove. The lid closes really nicely, and the keyboard is nicely set into the bottom of the laptop. It has this really nice Mac logo on the back of it, and the bottom says MacBook Pro. Also, the screen bevels are really small. They're very tight, so you're not dealing with wide bevels. And overall, it's really the best looking computer out there. Okay, so now the 5th reason why you should buy an M2 MacBook Pro. So the screen is unbelievably bright. It has 1,000 nits of brightness, and I know you hear people talk about that, 1,000 nits here, this many nits, that many nits. When you use this Mac, it is so bright that you can use it in broad daylight. I've been using it outside on my patio, and I've been able to use it, in the afternoon when I'd usually be doing work in the office. And I've been able to do it without a mouse because of the trackpad, but I've also been able to do that because the screen's just so bright that the sunlight really doesn't bother me that much because I'm just able to turn up the brightness and, kind of overpower the sunlight. And I'm not really saying like if you have the M1 MacBook, you should switch to the M2 or anything like that. I just think that if you are using a Windows computer or if you're considering like a Dell XPS 17 or something like that, that could cost you, $3,000 or $4,000, when you get one that's spec'd out, you should really consider an M Mac because of the performance. You have the super bright screen, you have this amazing touchpad that really is unrivaled by any touchpad out there on any other computer. I mean, the XPS 17 kind of comes close, but it's not even a haptic touchpad yet. So it doesn't really beat the Mac on that. And that's not even to mention the M series chips that Apple put into their laptops opposed to the Intel chips. You know, combining the CPU, the GPU, and the RAM on that same system on a chip, you get so much faster speeds with reduced amounts of RAM, reduced amounts of capacity. It's just so much faster. So I know this was a little bit of an unusual video. We're usually making adventure videos, but I recently needed to get a computer because we're making these videos now and I'm editing them, and I have been doing the editing on my gaming computer and it just wasn't cutting it. It was taking so long. And I felt like I needed to share it with you guys because, you know, it's such a time saver to have this Mac. It's just so much faster than using any other laptop. So if you like this video, please subscribe, leave me a message in the comments below, and like the video, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.